Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to math. Today, we're going to cover something we kind of covered before, okay, which is quadratics. If you guys remember quadratics, we have x squared plus bx plus c. Sometimes we don't have the a, we just have x squared plus bx plus c, okay? That means that when we had an equation, let's use what the bottom one, x squared plus 2x plus 1. If we're trying to break it down, if you guys remember from a previous concept, unless you're new, okay, if you weren't here for it, the way we do it is we break down the last number, the c, to two numbers that are the same number, okay? When you multiply, gives you the same number, which in this case a 1. So we have 1 times 1, okay? 1 times 1 is 1. But also those two same numbers that you're multiplying gives you the one in the middle when you add them or subtract them, okay, if it's a negative in there. So 1 plus 1, because they're both positives, equals 2, okay? So the way we would usually write it out in parentheses form, okay, or FOIL form, would be x, the fancy term is polynomials, okay? If we're doing a polynomial, you have x plus 1, and then x plus 1, okay? That's how we set it up in a polynomial form. We learned that back in the last 6 weeks, okay? Maybe even second 6 weeks. We're kind of still doing that. The only difference now is we're gonna try to solve as much as we can of it, okay, of the expression. So, today we're dealing with rational expressions. If we have something like x plus 2 over x squared minus 4, okay? Notice that the top, x plus 2, there's nothing really you can do to it. So we're going to leave it as it is, okay? But on the bottom, we have that square, okay? X to the square power. The way we break it down is when something like this happens, all you have to think about is this, okay? The camera got a little, all right, blurry there. Sorry about that. All right, we have x, so we have two x's, okay? So we have x and x, because we have two x's. Now, the number next to it has a minus 4, okay? That tells us that the number we're going to use for that number in there, okay? We did technically have x squared and our c. We don't have a b. The way we cancel out that b in every problem where you have something like this, okay? Get the number from the end and break that down into two numbers that are exactly the same number to multiply to get to that number. In this case, we have negative 4. Two numbers that give you, well, should write it down a little lower. So we have negative 4. Two numbers that give you negative 4 are, don't worry too much about the negative for now, just two numbers that give us 4 that are the same number. 2 and 2, right? So 2 and 2. When you multiply to get a negative 4, one of them has to be negative, right? To get a negative 4. So we're going to say negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. Okay? Doesn't really matter what numbers are. It can be negative 100. You can also have negative 10 and 10. If it would have been positive 100, it would have been positive 10 and positive 10. Okay? Doesn't matter. It can be 60. 36. Let's go 36. 36 is 6 and 6. Okay? 16, 4 and 4. All your perfect square root ones, okay, usually are set up like this. Okay? In this case, our perfect square root is 2. One positive, one negative. So we're going to put it in here. Minus 2 plus 2. Now that we have that, we're actually going to solve it. So we have x on the top. Let's do another color here. So we have x plus 2 over x minus 2 and x plus 2. Okay? Can we cancel something out? We can. We can cancel out an x plus 2 from here and an x plus 2 from there. We're left with 0, x minus 2. Okay? Which, when this happens, we have a 0 on top, it's really not a function. Okay? But that's not the point of today's concept. Today we're trying to simplify the expressions. Okay? Let's do one more, a little more challenging. Okay? Make sure you write everything down that I have on the board. Make sure. Remember, send the picture of those notes as well. All right. I'm going to use brown. All right. So for the next example, we're going to do a little more challenging one, okay? We have x squared minus 4 over x squared plus 6x plus 8, okay? We're still going to do the same thing. We're still trying to solve it reduce it as much as we can so we can cancel things out, okay? Again, since we already saw the top one in the previous problem, we pretty much already know how to do it, okay? That is set up as x plus 2, x minus 2 over, now we have to break down this on the bottom. Here's where it gets a little more complicated, okay? Because since you don't have a perfect square root here, you have to actually solve the numbers to break down the quadratic, okay? Like we did back in concept 5 and 6 in the previous semester, okay? All right, so two numbers that give us 8 when you multiply, we have 1 times 8, we have 2 times 4, and that's pretty much it, right? All right, so out of those numbers, do any of them have the potential of giving us the 6 if we add them? We do, right? The 4 and the 2. So 4 plus 2 is 6. So we know that the numbers we're going to need is x plus 2, okay, and x plus 4. Because we used the numbers that gave us 6. So if we FOIL out this polynomial, should give us back to x squared plus 6x plus 8. Okay? But we'll try to break it down as much as we can, which we did. So now we're going to write it over here. We're going to have x plus 2 and then x plus 4. Can we cancel anything out in this equation? We can, right? We have x plus 2 and x plus 2. So we can cancel those out. We cannot cancel these two because they're not the same. So that is our answer. Since nothing else can be done, we have x minus 2 over x plus 4. And that's it. Okay? If you have any questions, guys, let me know. Okay? I know breaking down quadratics is a little complicated. Okay? But don't hesitate to ask questions. All right. So here's your assignment for today. I hope everybody wrote this down. All right, the example or your problems for today, should I say, are x squared minus 4, okay, x squared plus 4x plus 4, okay, that's your first one. Your second one is x squared minus 4 over let's do this. So we don't have two different ones. Let's have x squared minus 1 x squared plus 4x plus 3. Okay? So we have two problems on the board. Okay? Make sure you simplify them as much as you can, and then cancel out things that are the same, that are same on top, that are also the same on the bottom. Okay? If nothing else can be canceled out, leave the rest of it as it is. Okay? That's as simple as it's gonna get. Alright guys, so make sure you submit your answers as soon as you're done watching the video, and I'll be waiting for your email.